Hi, we're back. Welcome to another episode of In the Music Room with Mrs. Neal. Today we are making a case for our recorders, and this can be done with some duct tape, a plastic bag, a good pair of scissors, a Sharpie, and some sticky back velcro, which we'll get to towards the end. We're going to start off by measuring our baggie, and you may notice that this is smaller than my recorder, but it's okay. I'm going to create a flap system towards the end to help with that issue. So even though the bag is shorter than the recorder, it's still going to work in the long run. So I just used my recorder to kind of say, this is how wide I want the bag to be. And I didn't really cut it very straight because sometimes I have a little bit of trouble with that. I mean, draw the line straight. Oh, because I used my recorder instead of like a ruler. And now I'm using my scissors to cut along the line. However, because I have used these scissors about 6 or 7 times to make a case for my recorder with duct tape, the blades are a little sticky and I am having some issues with that. So that's kind of a warning. It's better to tear your duct tape than it is to cut it. So I have this big opening right here, and that's not gonna hold my recorder. So I'm gonna seal that up with my duct tape, but I'm gonna make sure that this part of my bag does not seal up. I'm just gonna put my marker in there, and I'm gonna let that be like a placeholder so that I don't accidentally seal the whole thing shut. And you might not need this, but I like to use it like as just to keep myself from making a mistake that I've made a few times. All right. So here I have my bag is ready for duct tape, and I've cut about 4 pieces, and I think I have more than I need, but I've cut about 4 pieces of duct tape, about twice the length of my recorder. This is kind of hard to see, but it's about, this one actually is even longer than that. So I'm gonna overlap it later, so it is important for it to be longer than my recorder. We're going to take, you do need a large empty workspace for this. We're gonna take our duct tape and we're gonna have just a little overhang here near the bottom and near the side, and we're gonna actually tape it to the desk. Okay, this is a lot easier to do it this way rather than kind of having everything up in the air, because now I can line up my duct tape pretty evenly along the bottom. I have less waste, I have more evenness, there's less bumps and problems like that, and I can always just kind of straighten that up later. Here it's not quite straight, but it's very close. And then my final piece of tape, I have 3 pieces of tape so far that I've used. Like I said, I cut 4 long pieces of tape. I've so far used 3. Now my bag is taped to the desk, and I'm gonna pull it up from a place where, I think I'm gonna pull it up from here, so that when I pull it up, the tape doesn't come apart. Okay, so now I have this really long bit, and then I have this less than long bit. The first thing I wanna do is take my marker out, or maybe actually I wanna leave my marker in, but I had too much hanging out. So I'm gonna put my marker right there. Now, you may have noticed that this duct tape is very sticky. It's sticking to my hands. If you just kind of try to use your fingertips instead of your entire hand, then you're probably gonna be more successful than me. Because the more you stick to the duct tape, the more you'll stick to the duct tape. Meaning, the more body surface you put on the duct tape, the harder it's gonna be to keep your duct tape nice and flat. So I went all the way to the bag, I folded over, and now I'm gonna flatten this out. And this might be too much, but it actually might be just the right amount. I'm gonna leave that like that, okay? Now, I'm gonna fold the bottom edge up along, and I'm gonna kind of try and fold it so that this little corner and this little corner, kind of like a present, okay? So that I don't have all that extra stuff, okay? That's pretty good. I can make that look nice and neat with a piece of extra tape in a little bit, okay? Then I'm gonna take the side, just like again, like a present, folding along the side. Good, my marker's still doing its job. And I'm folding along this side, and this happens to be the side that's open, so that's kind of important. All right, there we go. So now I have something I think that my recorder will fit in. Okay, let's try it out. Oh, cool. Now, this is the first time that I have gotten my flap to be long enough. So I am glad that I have tried this now 6 times. But I do see that there's an issue here where it kind of just looks weird. See, I have all this extra that's not like wider than my bag, and I'm gonna just tear that like that, and I'm gonna tear that like that. I think I can just tear this extra bit off. Let's see if I can get a good grip, and if not, oh good. See, it just really, if you get a good grip, it just comes straight off because of the fibers inside. They run long ways, and there's also some that run short ways. But if you have trouble, like this one's not coming for me, I've already folded to create that crease earlier. I'm gonna use my scissors, which I advise against, again, only if you absolutely need to, because it does make your scissors sticky. That's looking pretty good. I mean, there's some edges that I can make look nicer with this other tape that I have over here, if I wanted to do that. Let's see. Again, I could take this tape and kind of just fold it around and create like a smooth edge, okay? And I'm gonna tear this bit off, this excess. I'm storing the excess because in case I need it later. I'm not throwing every bit in the trash or crumpling it up. Ooh, that edge looks nice now, actually. I like that. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, here we have our other piece of tape. Okay, and it's really sticking to me because I'm getting a little impatient. So sometimes you just have to slow down, take a deep breath, and relax. Oh yeah, a lot better that way. All right, I like the way that edge looks. Okay, so I'm gonna take this excess off. Again, I'm keeping the excess to the side in case I need to cover up any blemishes or parts that I don't think are very pretty later. Now I have this exposed area. You can leave it exposed. You can use that area to write your name, or you can cover it up with another kind of duct tape, like an accent color, okay? So I happen to have this fun Star Wars tape, and it fits perfectly, actually. Pretty cool over the clear part. And it's a little bit long, so I have a couple of options. One, I can tear it off and be done with it. Or I could flip it around and bring it up the other side. Let's see. If I flip it around and bring it up the other side, it's not gonna go all the way. So I might not wanna do that, but I'm going to, okay? So here's this is my accent tape because I actually have one more tiny piece of accent tape right there. Oh my goodness, that's perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it over, flop it over, curl that back so it looks nice and neat, and it's fine for my final step. This is Velcro. It's got a sticky back. I recommend putting both of them together so that they're stuck together, and then peeling the backing off of one side. It might matter to you which side, but it doesn't matter to me which side you pull off first. What does matter is where you put it first. So it takes a little patience again to get that off. And then I'm gonna stick this kind of near, yep, right there. And see, this one is the other side, and I need to take this off. Now, if I just take this off and put it over here, I might put it in the wrong place, and it might not line up. So a little trick that I use is that I put the Velcro together first, and then I stick it to the two things that I want to stick together. So now I have a very cute Star Wars duct tape recorder case. And if I wanted to, because I used black, this is a little bit difficult, but I can get a smaller piece of tape. See if I can find the end. We used a lot of tape today. Awesome. And then I'm going to just put this along the edge right here. I mean, it can go anywhere, right? It's your recorder case. And then this is where I would write my name. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of In the Music Room with Mrs. Neal. Make a duct tape recorder case with your favorite colors of duct tape, your favorite designs. It's really all up to you. And there's several other ways you can make your own homemade case if you like. But it's optional, but it is fun. And I hope to see what you guys come up with. I bet it's pretty creative. All right, have a great day.